start the show, better take your seats. It's been a while, but I'm back on top. To the world is mine, I don't plan to stop. It's time to let the curtain rise. We're gonna shake the room, we're gonna all night. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready for the knockdown, drag out, stand up, get loud? This is how we get down. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Ladies and gentlemen, get on your feet, get on out the door, take it to the street. Turn up the heat, we're working up the sweat, yeah. I'll show you something that you won't forget, It's time to let the curtain rise. We're gonna shake the room, we're gonna all night. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready for the knockdown, drag out, stand up, get loud? This is how we get down. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? It's time to let the curtain rise. We're gonna shake the room, we're gonna all night. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?
Hello. Hello. We just fade this in. Hello everybody. Oh, Vinny, hello mate. Hello Ben. Hey, are you ready? Okay. I might have just cut the music. I'll just let it play in the background like that. Can you hear the music? It looks like there's quite a few people watching already. Hello. So let me just settle in here. Nervy tonight. Nervy. So how's everybody been? I'll just we'll just wait for a little bit and make sure that everybody. It's 14 people. It's going up, so there's quite a few that wants to see. And I'm sure my mate's watching. Yeah, my mate's watching. He blocked me, but he's watching. I can guarantee you he's watching. So, new angle. I think I sort of wanted to be in the frame and I can move in a little bit closer. So let me just see. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. But I like it so far. It's good. Yeah. Exciting times. 21. Yeah, we're going up. It looks like a midweek night's probably a better time to have a live show because I tried some over the weekend and didn't have too many viewers, but it does help. Hang on. Oh, it's the music in the background that I'm hearing. Oof, sorry. I'm so used to technical difficulties that I'm expecting it every time I go live. So I hope everybody's had a great day, a great week, great weekend. You know, did all the good stuff. I know it was a busy, hot one over the weekend, especially up in Sydney. I think we missed we got the big hot weather on Friday and Thursday and Friday. I think in the 40s, and then it moved up eastward and hit you guys up in Sydney. And it's probably up. Hopefully it's over now. But so I'm going to try and be positive tonight. You know, it hasn't been a great day, but you know, you have a wise ass on the internet all the time. Every now and then there's a wise ass that needs to voice his opinion about something. And I thought, you know, like I've been noticing that, I don't know, advertising still happens on Facebook, and I don't know when people are going to learn that it's really not the platform to advertise on. So let me just cut this music in the background here. So, that's maybe too quiet. I don't know. What do you prefer? Do you prefer music in the background or no music in the background. I don't know. All right. So we'll get into it. Just checking the numbers. We don't have to start straight away. It's always good to just make sure that people are coming into the live chat. Looks like the live chat's working here. There's enough eyes there. And yeah, we'll go. So it's new ground for me, to get back to the whole Facebook advertising of your reptiles. Man, I don't know when you people are going to learn that it's just going to be a matter of time and they're going to just delete. They're just going to start deleting and going nuts again. So I don't know why people post their photos of a snake and private message me. How long do you think? And then you can have a whinge and a bitch about Facebook cracking down and removing your pages and stuff like that. I don't know when people are going to learn. There's a whole internet out there to build a website on, put your ads up, and then you're not at the mercy of anybody else. So I don't understand why our reptile community, the whole reptile community as a whole, can't learn the lesson. All right? And this is not to have a bitch at everybody. I'm just going, I don't sell snakes. I don't fucking keep snakes anymore. But it baffles the mind that we had a big situation last year where pages were being deleted, removed. People were having the big pissing themselves because, their 5,000, 6,000 follower strong page has been removed by Facebook. But we just keep going on. I see the pages have now, gone smart with the way they now, just contact the person directly. Come on. But that's not what we are. I'm not here to have a bitch session. Positive. My mate told me earlier, be positive. We're sick of negative. So I'm going to try and be positive. Now, I've noticed, let me just put this music down. Is this sound level right? Yeah, it looks like it's okay. I'll put this even down because I keep hearing the music and I keep thinking it's an echo. So, let's just calm down. All right? So, I had a bit of a scuffle with one of the big names in Australia, or, for what it's worth, in the carpet python industry. I don't even know if the guy's a big name, but I'm going to try not to name names, but I'm sure by the time that we finish, people will know who it is, because there's of course somebody that thinks he knows me and thinks that he can just sling mud at me for some fucking reason. All right, so I want to read you an ad that I saw online that's got quite a few people upset. Not just, I wasn't upset. I looked at it and I thought, ooh, you're gonna step on the wrong toes here, mate. I read the ad, and I'll read the ad because he blocked me now, but he still, of course, he blocked me, and then he commented on my comment so that he can have the higher ground. That one of those guys that he fights the holy fight, the saint-like fight, behind the veil of his blocking. All right, so we go into that because I've dealt with these guys all my life. So not all, since social media has existed, I've dealt with idiots like this. So in any case, so the ad goes as follows. Now I'll probably offend a few people, with reading it. Now wait till the end of the show because I want to just explain the situation, because it never had to escalate like this. It was something that was just a question asked by myself because I saw that there were issues coming from the way that the ad that's not supposed to be on Facebook was stated. All right. So I'll read the ad because I can still see him here, because I don't just have, one profile. Come on, who has that in this new age? So if you are wanting to make some cracking high yellow granites and zebra granites, just like this boy below, well, this is your chance, as this is the very first hatchling pair of 100% head granites I'm selling from the pairing at this point. Pictured below is the granite sire with a dame on eggs who is pure high yellow jungle zebra. So not only will this pair possibly produce some serious high yellow zebra granites, and even insane zebs, I hate that fucking word zebs, when paired up later, because they are also 75%, just all these percentages, and the possibilities are just screaming at me. I've no doubt they should color up into cracking high yellow animals themselves. So up to this point, I'm used to this type of salesman's pitch because it's a typical salesman's pitch. I've done it in the past. We all have done it in the past. And most people look at it and most newbies go, oh, I need to have one of these snakes because, they're going to be just the best. So let's, let's read further. Okay. Sorry, I don't know if it's full moon again. Usually this shit happens around full moon time. So this is where it gets interesting because this is where the fight was picked. Okay? So remember this now because I get accused of all different weird shit later on in this. This is where it goes wrong, horribly wrong. So don't settle for any brown, washed out, average looking granites that may take you another 4 generations to. So this is all bullshit. This guy's never made a granite in his fucking life. And he's now telling people that they shouldn't settle for animals that will take 4 generations to get to the level where he's granite jag. And that, if he honestly thinks that snake is a granite, he's a fucking retard. All right? Because anybody can see that that's not just a plain granite. In any case, so here we go. Let me just get back. So another 4 generations. So very specific, 4 generations. Get the yellows back in there. And even if you're wanting to head, it's funny that there's only this one photo of the snake as well. So now, sorry, I'm getting off topic here. Because it's not nasty yet. Okay, granites while doing so. Okay, so you need to, wanting to head in the other direction and go for axanthic AX granites, producing high yellow granites while doing so is just an added bonus and win-win in anyone's books. This pair is ready to roll out right now. Both are smashing fuzzy mice like nobody's business, and we freight Australia-wide, and PM only for we freight. It's only him. I don't know who we is. Also, please peeps, serious inquiries only. I'm very busy, and I should also mention I don't reply to PM prices, please, as nothing screams die. So he wants to be a salesman, but he doesn't want to answer the questions. All right? So now I'm going to try and be nice about this whole thing. So I think I have 33 people. Good. And I'm sure there'll be thousands of people watching this after. So I'll just scroll through this. So there was all like people were going, oh, awesome, like they do bat bats, like the usual reptile people, it's just, because it's people don't want to offend anybody. They just want to glorify this guy, So in any case, so I saw that and I went to sleep, and the next day I had messages through to me. What is happening here? Because to be honest, there's only a couple of guys in this country that breed granites. So this was a post made to discredit another breeder's line that they work with. It's very obvious. I mean, it's right there. So there's only one other guy that makes pure variegata. Okay, and I don't have to name names. If you follow carpet pythons in Australia, then you know who I'm talking about. So these words are fighting words. So don't settle for any brown, washed out, average looking granites that may take you another 4 generations. So in the process, he's telling people, look, don't buy that other breeder's stuff because he's got no fucking chance of getting them to look like this. When this other breeder has made, and I'm not going to say name him because I know how many he's made. He's made a lot. And there are fucking smashing snakes in there. All right? So, now my question to him was, I thought, I'm at that point in my life where I can't be stuffed getting involved in this shit. I don't even breed carpet pythons anymore. I don't keep them anymore. Why do I get involved? The problem is, though, there's so many new people in this hobby, and these new one-hit heroes are out there breaking down guys that have literally put in hundreds of hours, thousands of hours over the last 10 years to do what they do. To be discredited by somebody that's, as far as I can see, has been around maybe 2-3 years, lost his animals in a fire a few years back, I was told by his best mate, Marty Kennedy, that's what happened. I didn't even know this guy. I was asking him, who is this guy? In any case, so we'll get dirty. In any case, so now we go. Man, South Africans love to say in any case. So sorry about that. It's a South African thing. So I ask him a simple question. Hi, Alex. Oh, shit. I said his name. Can you post photos of other granites that you made? Because I was interested to see what he based his possibility on of animals that he'll be making down the line. Okay? I found that it's hard to guarantee color when it comes to the granite, which I found. I found it's very hard for any carpet python. If you are a carpet python breeder and you guarantee 100% that this snake is going to look a certain way, then you are fucked in your head. I have made hundreds of snakes, and I had a vague idea. Hundreds of snakes. Man, I'm undervaluing my how many snakes and reptiles I've made in my life. Okay, this gets better though, because that doesn't mean shit to this guy. Like I'm just a scumbag. So in any case, so all I asked was, show me another photo. Is all you've got is this photo of this one photo that you keep using. What makes me wonder, where is this snake? What does it look like now? A photo that's a year and a half old. Where is this snake? Why can't you post a photo of the clutch? I'm sort of wondering, didn't that prove out to be a granite jag, and he ended up with jags? And how he just, he's like a rat in like a chicken without a head running around. Okay? So in any case, so he goes back. So this is his response to me with a whole bunch of emojis. I think that's what they called. Because I grew up in a time when we didn't use emojis. We actually used our words. All right? So I said, made a Jacobus Bornman move a fucking crying smiley face. I don't even, it's funny when when you know what it means, but for somebody like me that doesn't give a shit, I mean, that just looks like little faces that's laughing. And it says, move along, hoser. Okay. Yeah, all right. I sort of dismissed it at first. I thought, yeah, okay, whatever, Hello, Anastasia. We'll get to the chat now. Let me just get the shit off my chest. All right. So I said to him, so now that he's incited the riot, now he can't, how can you control a raging bull, So I said, you've not made one granite, but you're an expert. Okay. I just laugh at the royalty like you. Okay, so I'm picking a fight. I should have maybe just let it go, but, for the guys that know me, the people that have been around me for the last 10, 15 years, 20 years that I've been here, they know that I'm not like, I eat way too much red meat as a rule. So, and I've just stopped eating carbs and sugar on the weekend to try and do something about this fat ass. At least I can admit to that. But now, this guy, maybe triggered, that's a new age word as well. Okay, the chat's on. Hang on. So here's the chat. So, okay, sorry. So, I let it go. So I said, the guy had my piece. Okay, well, we're not going to take it. Then he makes another post. Then it gets even better. Gets even better. So he makes another post. On a few of the forums or whatever. Posting a photo of I was super pumped to get a good fertile clutch from these two stunners I paired last season. The mum being a jungle and head and Xanthic, whatever, and the male being a jungle granite, 50% jungle granite. Really? Okay, so that's the same male again. Yeah, this male is just all over the shop. Yeah, it's still the same old photo. So wonder where this male is now. I don't know. He probably has it there somewhere. I don't really give a shit, but that photo looks like it's an old young photo of a young male. That snake doesn't look like that anymore, and he probably can't fix the picture to look like that again. So he saw these like little axanthic looking worms in there, whatever. I don't really give a shit about the axanthics. It's never been my thing. Same as hypos. Okay. So I asked him in the forum. So he makes it look like, like he's made these miracle axanthics. So I think I commented something along that because he's got me fired up. So I'm sorry. I'm a human. I get worked up. I don't like people being condescending, comparing me to Ray Hoser. Come on. What's your deal, man? I ask you a fucking normal question and you have to get dirty on me. All right? I ask you just to show me what you based your opinion on. Because it's just your fucking opinion. All right? All right. So then he gave me some big spiel and I said, look, well, okay, like a hoser, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, people can go look it up. It's there. Now I noticed tonight that I was blocked by him. So I went and had a look. So this was now the retaliation by him. Okay. Okay, now there's something that the normal folk out there don't quite, like in psychology, there exists something called projection. All right. So I went and had a little Google. I mean, because we've all been to a little bit of, I've been through a lot of shit in my life. So I've been to a psychologist. I've seen a psychologist. I can honestly say that to deal with my issues, my obsessive compulsive issues and stuff. I see somebody for that. So I'm getting help, unlike a lot of people that's out there that just fucking roll on and don't understand what they're going through. So he goes, psychological projection, dealing with undesirable emotions. So I'm going to read what that's all about. Psychological projection is a defense mechanism people subconsciously employ in order to cope with difficult feelings or emotions. Psychological projection involves projecting undesirable feelings or emotions onto someone else rather than admitting to or dealing with unwanted feelings. Have you ever disliked someone only to become convinced that the person had a vendetta against you? Okay. I've done that. I'm sure this guy did it. That's what he's doing to me because I asked a reasonable question. This is a common example of psychological projection. Luckily, there are methods you can use. So that's the first minute. It's the first thing that I open up on face. So it's projection. There's undesirable emotions that we need to deal with. We need to deal with these emotions. So in any case, so now he's lashing back. Now he's going to lash back, lash back at me. Here we go. And I look like a crazy person when I look at myself on the thing. So here we go. I'm sorry that you're angry and obviously feel your opinion matters, mate. Oh, my opinion matters. Yeah, okay. No, my opinion doesn't matter, but I've been around for longer than you have. So my opinion matters more than yours. I can fucking assure you that. But it's a little hard when you have little to no respect for the animals or anyone else in the hobby. And I can guarantee you, the people that know me, my peers, of which you are not, know what I am with my animals. Okay? I know what I am. And you might fucking have to look at yourself and figure out what you are, mate. So here we go. Respect for the animals or anyone else in the hobby, especially when they, unlike yourself, don't feel the need to take shortcuts. Oh, so you haven't taken shortcuts. Now let's just unpack that. So this is now the projection. Especially when they, unlike yourself, don't feel the need to take shortcuts. So you never took a shortcut. So you didn't buy a granite or granite jag. Let's just call it what it is, mate, because you're fucking stupid if you think that's a granite. Granite jag. You bought a Xanthics from Craig that got them from Marty, that got them from fuck knows wherever in Europe. And you called it Craig's line. Yes, I see you post that shit the whole time. Craig's line. Man, Craig contacted me about those snakes that he got from Marty to ask me my opinion. Before you were around, man, you were probably running around your fucking nappies. He contacted me about those snakes to ask me what I think about the snakes that he hatched, if they were Xanthic. Because he wasn't sure if they were hets. You come with your Craig's line. Yeah, Craig made them here after they arrived with FedEx from us overseas. Okay? So don't tell me that I took shortcuts. You don't have a fucking clue, man. Sorry about the language, people. Oof, I don't know. It's all this emotion. I'm projecting. I don't know. Okay. So... and are actually putting in the time, hard work, and years of dedication to achieve great things. Ugh. Cry me a river, man. What have you done? Really? Took other people's snakes and you put them over your cheap shit. Bought expensive snakes and put them over your cheap rubbish. All right? There we go. Because as far as I see it, using FedEx at the expense of poor animals. Okay, so he knows that I've got, but it makes sense because him and Marty are good mates. Yeah? Him and Marty are good mates. Marty, your mate Marty. That's how you know about FedEx, because that's what he used. All right? So now to project it onto me. Yeah, FedEx used to work. I wouldn't try it now anymore. Just so you know. Wouldn't try. Wouldn't recommend anybody try that now because they'll get fucked by the government. Okay, in any case. Then he says, animals and breeding a carpet to a ball python, then claim it as the latest new crazy morph and try and proudly call it a tribal. Yeah, well, if you believe that, then you're fucking retarded. Again. Because, sorry about, I've got no issue with special, I don't want to come across as I use that word. I don't want to offend people. I'm sorry if I offend somebody by using that word. Okay? Because this is not me. In any case. I should say ignorant. Sorry. So, then he goes, I did this with a ball python. Man, I've never kept I kept a ball python. Man, there's examples of ball pythons that have gone over carbon. If you can show me one ball python cross a carpet python that looked like the shit that I made, then man, I'll give you $1 million. All right? So keep thinking that, you ignorant fuck. In any case, then you go. Sorry, try to be positive here, man. Sorry, but just this response. It's just so bullshit. Of course, he got his 7 likes. Seven likes. All the people that I've gone through there, it's all of my old fans. How are you guys? You're probably watching this show as well. Welcome to my page. Okay, so then he goes, it's such a long-winded bullshit. It's just so culture now is no big achievement in anyone's eyes. Okay, yeah, whatever. In fact, it just shows that possibly your main motive isn't really about the love for the animals at all, but your selfish want or desire to actually make a name for yourself with it. Man, people know who I am. Okay? Whether it's for the right or the wrong reason, people know who I am. And the people at the top, even higher than you in the food chain, know who I am as well. And they all know from seeing the stuff that I've done over the years that I'm not just a fucking idiot. All right? People that have seen the world and have been all over the place. Man. So I don't need your okay, oof, that hurt. Oof. So in any case, we talk about greed, huh? Talk about greed, mate. Yeah. I know stuff about you and greed. Huh? In any case. Sadly, you have done that. Okay, actually make a name for yourself. Okay, sadly, you have done that, but for all the wrong reasons. And so he acts like he knows me. I've never spoken to this guy ever in my life. He never used to be part of my groups that I used to have massive and thousands. The original Reptile Mutation Foundation group in Australia was my group, and I had hundreds of members. And this guy, where was he? Suddenly popped out, bought a couple of expensive snakes, and suddenly he's a name. That's the problem with the industry. Anybody can buy himself into the industry and then wants to become a legacy. Makes all these snakes that everybody else has made before, thinking he's original. Come on, man. Come on. We've seen all these snakes overseas already. The same lines that you work with from overseas through your mates. There we go. So you're not making anything new. At least I've made stuff that looked different. I know it was the best group, Vinny. It was the best group because it wouldn't take shit, and we told it like it is. So he goes. Sadly, you talk legacy. All anyone has to do is Google to find your list of achievements. Yeah, I made mistakes, and I deal with it, and I live with it every day of my life. So I don't give a fuck what you have to say. So I'm sorry, mate, but I give credit where credit's due. Oh my goodness. Which is why your opinion is irrelevant to me. Of course it's irrelevant, because I don't know you. So yeah. Honestly, I do wish you all the best with your latest. So here comes the condescending bullshit again, because that's all this guy can do and his emojis. Learn to speak, mate. Learn to speak. Get some grammar, punctuation, because I can see that's lacking there as well. Honestly, I do wish you all the best with your latest venture. Fuck, you don't know shit about me. my venture. But once again, I can't help feel that choosing to publicly discredit everyone else in the hobby. Here we go. Here we go. That's the line. The hypocrite. There we go. Discrediting everyone else in the hobby is maybe going a bit about it the wrong way, because after all, aren't they the one you yearning the respect? I don't yearn for respect. I only care for the peers, my people, the guys that I respect are the ones that I care for, and I respect from the people that matter. Not the buyer inners, because I've seen hundreds of your type come into the industry and leave again because they couldn't make the money that they wanted to make, like you want to make. And I know that because I've spoken to people about you. So let's not be negative now. Now let's look at this let's see if we can be proactive and give constructive criticism to this ad, so we can all learn from this. So this is so call me Hoser. Yeah, that's all right. Ray's got lots of publications in his name. He's one of those guys that I think cops a lot of shit. And I think deep down, just a crazy fool like all of us that keep reptiles. A little bit crazier, I think, than anybody else. Let me just take a sip of coffee. So, now, let's look at this ad again and see if we can do it a little bit better. Okay? I was selling reptiles long before this guy was probably walking around, still running around in his nappies. I was breeding reptiles and I was selling reptiles. Let's have a look. So you start with, let's just put it this way. You sell what you've got. You don't make promises here that you can't, you don't cash, you don't write checks that you can't cash. I mean, that's the deal. So if you've got a nice snake, you tell people that it's eating, that it's having, I don't even know, this shitting, this pooping and eating and this shit. Yeah, the buy-inners, yeah, I love them too. All buy-in, Joe. Yeah, those are the ones that don't last. Not even Simon Stone lasted. And he also wanted a lot of, made his money and left. Because the real people with the real passion don't care about the accolades and about the yearning. Because this is projection. This is really what he wants. The yearning, the followers. That's why people make public posts. People make public posts like this. I never made public posts to show the whole world on my page, my personal page. When you make posts that are public on your personal page, it shows you looking for attention. That's as simple as that. Maybe I've got this wrong, but every other snake guy that is at the top of his game posts on his Facebook page, has a page, an actual page that they post on, and where people can interact. I mean, I've got 30,000 followers on different pages. Far more than what. Maybe it's just, I don't know. Maybe I'm a little bit always ahead of the ball, of the game. So okay, so you tell people what you've got. So if you've got a pretty snake, you tell them what it is. Try and identify it as accurately as you can, because you can't tell them something that it's not. You can't tell them it's a granite if it's really a granite jag. The father. And if it's you need to be able to identify these animals. And if you can't do that, then you shouldn't be breeding snakes. And you should be able to say, well, the possibility is there that you could make it. It's you could make pretty snakes, but if you haven't made anything from that line, if you haven't made babies from that line and held them back and actually looked at them progress, then you can't do that. And the problem is with most of you guys that are breeding it for the money, like this guy. Most of you guys just offload the babies as quickly as you can. You keep yourself one or two, whatever, and you don't really care what the rest look like. I kept hundreds of snakes back because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to sell stuff that I was going to regret. And I encourage that. But then, there's only so few people there's lots of my snakes in collections because there was a lot of extra stock that I sold through the K Brothers shop and places like that and wholesale. So there's a lot of my stuff. But the stuff that the stuff that I was working on, I never sold a thing. And people carry on like I was in it for the money, man. I built all of this with my old money. My whole collection. I never made money. I wanted this. He thinks he knows me so well. Maybe he should go and ask people and see if he can find one person that bought a snake from me. I mean, that's like directly an expensive snake from me. I can guarantee you can count them on your one hand. 2 hands maybe over the time. So I've entered now, so you can see the rage is gone. But I don't know. I don't know how we're going to stop this because he's not the only one. I mean, I see ads on reptile classifieds all the time of people guaranteeing, will be bright yellow and white, will have stripes, will be this. There's no way to say that accurately. There's no way to guarantee the color of a snake unless you've kept back 60 or 70 of the and people are going, hey, he's full of shit, man. People saw Mike. The peers that I talk of, the guys that I actually allowed into my collection, saw the numbers. Nothing left. And that was it. Maybe anybody is it sound right? I see there's a lot of people watching, but nobody's commenting. Maybe they're just watching me watching the roller coaster go, huh? So I probably made a few enemies. And I wanted to actually zoom in. This is what I wanted to do. I wanted to zoom in so he can come and find me at the expo because I'm going to be. This is what I look like. So come and find. I'm going to try and be at Sydney this year because I want to go. I'm going to go and look. I'm going to go and look at some grey washed out granites because I think I got an invite. I'm not sure if I got an invite or not, but I think he said I can come and have a visit him. So I'd love to come and see you in any case. So you know who I'm talking about. So I'll go and have a look at some grey washed out, maybe do some photos, and come up to me. Let's have a chat. Stop doing it for keyboard. I mean, that's don't stop being that little typer, keyboard type. But people don't come and they don't. They'll never just walk up and say, look, I'm the guy that, g'day, Zach. Hello, Emma. Come up and talk to me. Let's have a chat. Come and meet the smuggler, like fucking stupid shit that I did. He goes on with shortcuts and whatever. Man, it's because of shortcuts that you have what you've got. People paid with their fucking reputations and their lives, their freedom to take those risks. And now it's everywhere. It's everywhere. And I don't yearn for, look, one day maybe. I'm good, mate. Zach, how about yourself? I think I did say I. One day maybe, I know. Can't we all just get along? But you know what? It would have been as simple. Yeah, a lot of guys do that. Birchie does it. I'm pretty sure Peter Birch, but Peter Birch has seen all of it. Trent, I know you keep a lot of snakes back as well. I haven't seen you sell snakes in a long. The best time, the best thing to do for any reptile breeder is to keep snakes back. Look at that shit in the back there. This logo of mine was all nice until I do this chat thing that I'm doing. So let me just zoom out again. And I think that's as far as it goes. A little bit distracted now that I've vented everything off so you guys need to now drive the conversation as well. Maybe one day, it makes me happy to watch and see young people be able to work with animals that we dreamed of at one stage and we didn't know, we didn't think we could have in Australia. Okay? The risk takers. And don't get me wrong, I'm not condoning. I'm very changed. After everything I went through, I've changed a lot in my opinion about what that stuff does to the industry and what it does. Like smuggling, I'm not condoning smuggling. But if it wasn't for smuggling and poaching, then the people in Australia wouldn't have what they've got. And then to criticize, to attack for this guy, to attack me, never met me, never spoke a word with me. Tell me that I took shortcuts and shit. Man, to this day, I have still bred more zebras and zebra jags and head for granites and head for granite albinos than this guy has. And carpets in general. So to come and tell me I took shortcuts, fuck off. I worked hours and hours. I had no life. I actually don't miss that because I had no life. Never went on holidays. For anybody that keeps reptiles, I've got friends that get home from a 9 to 5 earlier, a 10, 12-hour day, go to the gym, go home, have a quick bite to eat, and then get into their snake room, and they're there for 4 hours until they go to bed at 12. That was me 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 12 years ago, 15 years ago. That's what I was doing. Okay, so yeah, Trent does all right. Surprise he's here. I haven't seen Trent watching, but Wednesday night. Maybe we should do the show Wednesday night. I'm still on debate. And people don't be shy. Send me if you want something. If you want me to chat about something, send me a message and I'll bloody say, yeah. Yeah, I know. Poaching's acceptable if you know the right people, and then the things just, yeah, I know. It is. It's the worst. I miss that, Emma. I miss that. I had a walk-in. I had a room that was heated with a Dyson fan heater that had chrome shelving, like this chrome shelving behind me, that had tubs and tubs, like 20, 30 plus tubs on that every year. And not every year. My best year was like 30, 32, I think. But I bred everything that was in the shed, Yeah. I doubt they'll replace the last. But I know the smell of those eggs hatching, the smell of snake eggs. I still get giddy around it. But for now, for my own mental well-being, I can't be around them. And because in Victoria, if you've got a strike against your name with the government, I think it's 10 years. 10 years that you're not allowed to keep reptiles. So you've got a long time. I think I'm halfway. I've got a long time to think of my transgressions. And for idiots like this to come and tell me how, they are higher and holier when they've dabbled in the same stuff. They just was a little bit more sinister about it. I deal with that every day. I wake up and I go, I've got a couple of things, a couple of lizards, blue tongues here that but they're not my thing. Thinking about it, carpet pythons were never even my thing. Chameleons were my thing. That's why I got caught with chameleons, a pair of big giant chameleons. They were like that big. They were I love those things. I really love those things. They were the only reptiles. The night where they were seized, they were the only animals that I've ever felt gutted about, because I raised them since they were little. They were like that big, and I ended up they were like this. They took them, put them threw them in a plastic tub, took them to where the seized animals go, and they stuck a needle in their head and pierced their spine. They call it pithing. So they put a sharp, blunt needle into the back of their neck, into their heads, and they scramble their brains up. That's how reptiles get put down. Maybe a syringe to give them a chemical that sort of knocks them out, and then they stick that needle in their heads. One of the best maintained collections in Australia was wiped out because of my stupid fucking decisions. And I mention it a lot because it is terrible. I don't know if many people could survive through something like that. I deal with that, and I don't need idiots to tell me how shit I am. Hey, Vinny, you were there. I messaged you. You weren't there, but you're one of the first people I told about what happened. And you know what? The way the department got me was we had a license at my house in my wife's name, and they used that part of the clause. They used that part to say, well, your wife's not really the one that looks after the animals. So we're going to not renew her license. And then I'm like, but you guys know I can't have a license. Oh, but we don't care. You know, that whole rule, it's like a exception rule for everybody else. But when they want to enforce a specific part of the Wildlife Act, that's how they get to it. So they didn't renew her license, and they said, look, and I think I mentioned it in another podcast, you can give us the animals and we'll euthanize them because they're all mutations. We don't know what to do with them. Or you can offload them and sell them or whatever. And there was like 600 of them in 2 weeks. You can have 3 or 4, I think it was 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks. You've got 4 weeks to do that. Or it's I sell, or how do you do that? You guys know how long it takes to sell reptiles. What do you do with that many? You can't even give them, the stuff that my daughter's bearded dragon. I had a snake that I got when I got to Australia that laid the first clutch of snakes. Like I had a female I had stuff. This guy, it's all about the money. I had snakes that had no monetary value. I never sold a retired female. They always ended up retiring. Got their meal every week. They ended up in a cage, tub by themselves. They were treated like royalty. Not like some of these guys that get a clutch of eggs out of their adult females and sell them hollow still. There's a few guys that come to mind that sell them straight out. How do you do that? How do you sell a female? And I don't want to, I've got other mates that sell them. It's each to his own. But to me, to tell me that I didn't like or love my animals, that triggers a nerve. So if somebody does that, they deserve all the shit in the world. Okay? So I don't want to go, I get all fucking worked up and upset about the whole situation. So I've been dealing with it well. But I think, let me just check how long we've been up here. If there's anybody that wants to say anything else, it's gone a little bit dreary and depressed now. I'm pretty sure, well, it's not even an hour, so we might push it through to an hour. Just close this. I don't want to look at that. Thank God he blocked me. That's the end of that. That's it. So this whole projecting, people project stuff onto. We do it with we do it with our kids and everything. Because we are not perfect. People are not perfect. We like to project it on other people. Your own issues you project. I see it at work every day. The granite line. Oh, what about the granite line? I'm just happy that I outcrossed that stuff. Because the male that I started, everything. The stuff that Brent's got was like I sold him some double heads like 5-6 years ago. 5 years, I think 5 years. And those snakes, the male that I had was, I had issues with that snake. He was never a good feeder. He took his time. Then one year, the year before he made those double heads, he was sick. He got sick in winter. And then, he was up and down. But the funny thing is, all the stuff that came in from overseas were like, they were like a 6 months ahead of everything else. So you could really, I know. So it took 6 months to, they're 6 months ahead when they arrive here from overseas. So that snake was mature at, I think, 12 months. He started breeding. But man, we had issues. I had so many issues. And then when he bred, I put him to an albino female, a good, strong albino female breeder. I think she made 18 eggs or something like that. And those babies were rock solid. Rock solid. The best thing is that male, when he was a good breeder, I had a jungle female, a really black jungle female that made, that I put him to. And the babies, this is why I can see this guy doesn't know what he's doing if he's telling me that, because the snakes that I got out looked like the stuff that he's selling. And then I've seen granite jungles, and they don't look anything like that. They're dark, and they have this odd purpley toned. I've seen it because that's why I ask people, can you show me this? I think it's you need to just, we'll get back to that now. So if you can identify the issues and work on it, that's what I've been doing for the last 5 years. It's been 5 years of hiding in the shadows. And that's not my venture. I do work in the day and I come home and this is my joy. I like cameras and gear and shit, find reasons to spend money on, So, but I like, I love the stuff that Brent's doing with it. I mean, he was the first to make the albinos, and I saw them last 2 years ago, and they're fantastic. In the background, that's a Sony A6400 with a external battery plate that charges it for longer than an hour because they're notorious for their shitty batteries, the little Sonys. But man, the best cameras ever. So I'm excited about that because I can just see. I mean, the good thing is that it was a good, strong outcross line. I don't think Brent's having any issues with fertility and the robustness of the snakes, and that makes me happy to know that those animals are in great hands and they're moving forward, and I can see the results, and it's gonna be I'd be one day be happy to say, but the stuff ended up in the right hands and everybody's enjoying it. That's what excites me. I like to be involved in it. I like to be and get back into it or something. But I don't think I could ever have that stink and, defrost rats and worry about where I'm going to buy rats and mice and stuff from. I enjoy life as it is. Maybe one or two nice projects and then slowly build it, because I never bought lots of animals. I had like a small gene pool and I just started bringing it with ball pythons. Yeah, I heard stories of me, when they raided me, I was flushing. I've got screenshots of all this stuff, man. I've collected it over here. I was flushing ball pythons down the drain, packing them down there. Like people are weird. They come up with weird shit. Yeah, I'd still like to find out who the guy was that came up with a very innovative way to explain those really stripy carpets that I made. And all I can say now, like I was an arrogant piece of shit then as well. I can see that I was very arrogant. And that's why the stuff happened to me. I can imagine how terrible. It's a good thing. I mean, it's terrible to say that, but it was a good thing that happened because it's made me realize how the food chain works and how you can't fuck around. It takes you down the notch, takes your knees out from underneath you, and you have to lie there on the ground for a while, and then you realize, bog pythons, yeah. But then you realize where you fit in and how you should be behaving yourself. Best thing that ever happened to me. Seriously, the best thing that ever happened to me. It came at a massive cost, but you put me on the right track. Yeah, I can actually just press, but I wouldn't want to put this in the podcast. I used to do podcasts with Peter Birch. I wouldn't mind. I'm looking for somebody to help me do podcasts. I've got John in America that I'm getting in on the Reptile News. That's my other page. So go check it out. Give it a like if you want to. I'm much more busy, more involved on that page because I want to grow that, and I want that page to be huge. I did a podcast with Peter Birch for a while, but it was hard still because there was always this thing around me, because I was notorious for making fuck ups. That's my biggest downfall was my obsessive nature when it came to reptiles and the constant screw ups. And people don't want to be around other people that keep stuffing up like that. It's not good for I understand that people distance themselves from you if you're hot, if you constantly, and it's that I think you get used to that adrenaline, you get used to that rush, and you just don't care. You just get on a roll, and you just, you just can't stop. Once you get momentum, you just can't stop. So I understand that people were, distancing themselves from me and whatever. And I felt it was pity because I think a podcast and I think a radio program or even a show like this, because I can bring in conversations from any. Yeah, I'll reach out to him. I've worked a shitty job every day, I fucking hate it, So if he's got spare time, I'll reach out. But and but this I can bring in sound from outside. I can bring in Skype calls. I can talk to people. I'd even have, I want to hear what the guys are doing. Emma, Zach, come on the show. Let's talk. Tell me what you're doing. I see you make little videos. I'm there. I see all this stuff. I don't always comment. I've never been a big commenter. So if I comment, And I've never been a big liker and stuff like that. I follow a page and then I see the stuff coming in my newsfeed. But I'm up for having anybody and talking a little bit of crap. Fill up the shows. Tell us what you're doing. Get. I want to get some traction on the page. I don't need negativity like that. People that think they know me, that don't really, they don't know shit. Been told stuff and they regurgitate it. And it's the same type of guy that would have issues with a lot of other guys, but he'll have his loyal following that his 7 people that give him his likes on his comments that he make because they think he's a hero behind his block list. So, I wanted to sort of pull it I'm sure you'll watch this. So, sorry for offending you. I'm sure you can report me to the Facebook police or whatever. I don't really give a shit if they pull this video down. But I had to say it, Out there you feel has been overlooked needs to be pushed further, like someone got a point to sell them and stop there. I don't know. And as I always tell, I speak to a very select few people still, because I hate to be judged. I give people a benefit of the doubt, like I don't know the reply to what I say, respect gets respect. I think is so to get a response like that, just that all the cards went off the table. I don't know. I always tell the guys that I speak to, that there's always opportunities. The thing is, you need to close your collection. Close your collection and get the best, whatever you can afford. Get the best that you can afford. Talk to a few guys. You know what the best is when you see it. But those animals, then you narrow down what you want to do. There's a few guys that do a lot of, but I found the best thing to do is to narrow down what you want to do, and then you line breed your own stuff. Choose the traits. There's stuff out there that, like I saw some beautiful bredli the other day with like really reduced patterns. And wouldn't it be awesome if you could line breed those and keep the babies back with the least amount of pattern over 3-4 generations? 4 generations. That guy doesn't fucking know what he's talking about. If you know what you're doing, you can do it in a lot faster. If you know what you're looking at, and then you just hold back, and then you eventually end up with a line that's so unique, and then you start connecting that stuff. I feel like it's a problem though, because people always rush to do. People always want to make the visual, regardless of what it looks like. They just want to make. I saw a photo. I shared a photo of a jungle super zebra overseas that have a refined line bred super zebra that is so yellow. The guy can't sell it. And I'm looking at it going, why would people not buy that? Because the thing is outrageous. That's a problem. The only thing I see with super zebras is that the colors are still very muted. I've not seen a super zebra jags look nice, but I think that there's a few people out there that I think what I would do, I would work with zebras, and they elude me. Oh my God. Talk about a snake that I've got a friend that still has a nice collection down in Victoria. And every year he misses super zebras. I can't believe it. We need to make bright yellow. I've always wondered, that bright yellow, there would be nothing more enjoyable to look at than a bright yellow super zebra with a perfect tail. That would be something that I'd do. If I ever get back into carpets, that's something. I wouldn't give a shit. I would start at the bottom and I'd make them, because I'm pretty sure I know how to make them now with their tails right. But it's all about your founder stock. It's all about your founder stock that you use. So thank you, Greg. Hello. I saw you there. Yes. Super zebra, beautiful yellow one, no pattern, straight tail. Just one. I just want to make a super. I just want to, because I've always liked him since Paul Harris. Since Paul Harris posted the first super zebra, I've wanted to make them. Maybe it's just that mind block that I've had. Man, I made granites, I made fucking all that stuff, but super zebras. Well, it's always something to chase. Or maybe an axanthic, a nice white axanthic like Star Pythons has. That's another life goal one. So sorry, this show is a little bit off track now. You can see I'm losing steam now. So I'm just glad you guys had we'll maybe do it Wednesday nights. I might just do a constant. So if you guys, yeah, I haven't seen it. You had a few. I think I did see Zach and Emma. I think they did saw there. Never heard if you had any luck with straight tails though. Yeah, I've got all the photos, Vinny. I've got 18,000 photos of my old collection. I think I have 8,000. That stuff. I mean, it's too fucking hard to go back in my phone to get those photos. But I should start posting that stuff again. But it's funny when you look at old photos like that. It just makes you sad. It makes you sad. I've got all the breeding photos, all the breeding data. I had results every year. When I did the ultrasound, I'm one of the few guys. I think me and Peter Birch. Next year. There's always next year. That's what I always say. When you've had a rough year, it's always next year. Life of a breeder. It's always next year. Um, we work in year cycles. So once they hatch, as soon as they hatch, that's where your year starts for the next lot. Or actually, once that female lays the eggs, that's where your year starts for the next season. But I think Peter and there's what's the guy up north that has those really nice womas? There's a couple of guys. Rob Sullivan bought an ultrasound. I think there's 5 or 6 ultrasound units that I supply to guys because I used to sell ultrasound units. I mean, this is going back, right back. So this stuff, I've been out of it for as long as some of these guys have been in it. But I used to supply reptile breeders in Australia with ultrasound units. Emma, Zach. That's what I used to do. And incubation tubs. I was the one that discovered those, marinating those. There's one guy. I can't remember what his name is. He sends me a message every Christmas to say Merry Christmas. One of those guys. He's in Queensland, up your way, Trent. Does a lot of work with albino mackies as well, and he does a lot of work with. I think he's got blue tongues as well, black blue tongues. I can't remember what his name is, but the top bloke, one of the guys that he always used to harass me with a bloody ultrasound because a long story. But those the incubation boxes that everybody use now with the white grid in the bottom, that's something I found on a shelf in a plastics place in Victoria, and I supplied the whole of Australia with those. And then I did a shipment to somebody that directly from the supplier, and other people discovered it because I was doing it as a business, so I was trying to protect the product. But that's the stuff that I used to do. I don't think people had the type of records that I've got, especially when it comes to ultrasound stuff. The problem is that business venture that I had with that other guy, what's his name? All my information was on a computer that was at the warehouse that we had, and that got, I don't know where that information is. Man, I had some records, ovulations, millimeter, how big the follicles have to be before you put the male in. I used to, Brett, what's his name? No, is it Brett? No, it's. Now it's bothering me. I'll share something on my page so people know who he is. I haven't spoken to him in a while. But he does albino mackies. He does womas. He hatched some crazy womas 2 years or 3 years ago. Brett Modra. Yes, that's the one. Yeah. So it was me, Birchie, Brett Modra. It was somebody else. It was I know, but you got the wrong Doppler, or you got the wrong probe on it. You need the one with a flat probe. Yes, Brett Modra. Yeah, nice guy as well. He's done a lot of hard. The guys that these, the people shortcuts. Doesn't know what he's fucking. Brett Moore is also a good breeder. Yeah, but the one that I'm talking about is Brett Modra. Trent does a good job. Doesn't know how to use the ultrasound. I'll show you one day. I have to come and meet you one day. I have to come and say hi to you one day. But Queensland, man, can't go up there. Too hot, humid. Can't do it. Man, it looks like we've got a few viewers tonight. For those of you that's just tuning in, well, hello. You'll probably get to see my face quite a few times. I'm hoping to come up to Sydney. to the Perth, to the Penrith Expo. Just come and walk around with a camera and do some nice. I know there's a few of the American guys coming around across. So, Australia really needs I know Steve Crawford has his wildlife podcast, but we need Australia. I've always been a promoter of moving the hobby forward. That's why Peter and myself did that reptile radio many moons. I think that was 2013, 2014, something. That never really, it was hard to find guests. There's so many more people breeding reptiles now. And I'm sure we can put aside issues if it's for the benefit of the industry. Come on the show like this and we talk, Yeah, I know. I don't know why. But of course they have to now put aside their issues with me. I'm all for it. I would love to have guys up here. I know I've got one guy that I'm nagging to get on here, but he's so fucking busy. Sorry, my language, and I'll have to do something about the language. Of course, you can't curse like that on when there's young kids watching. But I think I've set the viewership to 18 plus. So, and I don't always talk like this. It's just when I'm a little bit annoyed. But yeah, I don't know why Australia can't just we pull our shit together. Gavin Bedford. Come and talk to us let's go talk about the own Pally pythons. Where's that heading? I've seen a few guys have got their own Pally pythons in their collections now. Crazy. Steve's got some. Another guy up in Cairns. I don't know if it's allowed up in Cairns. I don't think Queensland's allowed to have own Pallies in private hands. I don't know how it works up there. But there's so much stuff to talk about now. So much more stuff to talk about now than it was 5 years ago. Because people are also, the funny thing is, you put your face on a show like this. Yeah, grounded olive pythons. I saw those as well. I didn't even know those things exist. Yeah, I'm not sure how much you could do with them. Yeah, it's sort of like a little bit like putting granite carpets to silver pepper. I think they look too similar. I really think they look too similar. I've been saying that to some of the guys already. They look so similar that I can't understand. I can't think that they would express. I can say I'm wrong if I'm one of those. I'm grown up. I've said, I'm sorry, I was fucking wrong many times in my life. But the granites and the silver peppers, they look very similar, and I think that the expression might be very similar. So you'd struggle to see which is which in clutches like that. But I'd like to be proven wrong. I'm hoping, because that will really kick open the game. There's a lot less resistance these days against people making hybrids. The shit that we copped 10 years ago. Oh, my MG, I never want to do that again. Gee. That's why people like him say, a ball python to a carpet python, and that's to make them look like, piss off, man. What the fuck do you know? At the pies would be good to see the old collection and the chameleon set notifications on for the next one. Yeah, I don't know. The chameleons are on the internet, if you know where to look. So, but I won't be the first. I'm not the first, and I won't be the last. There'll be always new. That when one goes under, the next one sprouts up. It's just getting harder and harder. I can see the guys are getting so good at detecting reptiles now that why would you? Everything's here. Everything's here now. People just need to work with them. Everything, literally everything is here now. I think Vitblit. I think the to talk about beardies. I was very big into bearded dragons as well. I see the zeros are here now. I don't know I haven't seen the Vitblits. I mean, the Vitblits, of course, I had some Vitblits, and I know they had some breeding issues. I think they refined them. I think they more. I don't think they as. There's a lot of them. The guys are making bright red ones of them. I'm talking about beardies now, so tune out if you don't want to hear about bearded dragons. But everything's here now. There's no need to. So people don't have to take shortcuts anymore, like I did with all the hundreds of carpet pythons I made. My 7 clutches, my 12-month-old zebra jag male that made 8 clutches, or my granite jag male that made 3 or 4 clutches in his first season at a year old at 340 grams or 350 grams or something ridiculous like that. I looked at him and went, no way. Surely your hemipenes aren't big enough to go into that big vent. Yeah. So it's possible. People we were told, oh, it's safe to breed 2 or 3 clutches. Make male can't sire more than 2 or 3 clutches. But if you've got an ultrasound, I'm telling you, that's something that's very overlooked in this country. If you've got an ultrasound, you can scan those follicles. You only need to put a male in there once and have a fertile clutch. And nobody could tell you that because I don't think anybody else worked with carpets and ultrasounding in this country. So, but I don't want to ramble on. Please, if you guys, 29 people still on, yeah. Well, there'll definitely be thousands of views in the next couple of days of this show. I'm pretty sure of that. So, in summary, at the end of the day, please make sure that when you put an ad on the internet, you don't step on other breeders' toes or try and discredit them, because you will be found out. Yeah, I need an ultrasound machine again. They do them in wireless now, Bluetooth enabled. Oh, they're wonderful. Only $2,500. We might have to club together and get one. I don't know. $2,500, man, for an ultrasound enabled that hooks into your iPad Pro, or your iPad or whatever. So in summary, sorry, Colin. In summary, please don't try and discredit other breeders. I don't discredit people because I don't breed carpets. You can only discredit somebody if you're in the same industry as them. So I'm not in the same industry anymore. So please, when you put an ad on the internet, don't go giving your opinion. I saw Zach on the corner, and get one. I've been trying to sell Brent one for a long time. I said, come on, Brent. Yeah, but I don't think. There's some guys, I've seen quite a few carpet guys, and there's a few guys that I really respect. There's, even though there are guys that I probably will never get along with and that I can respect without being their mates. People that come to mind is Roger Lester. Roger would never, in the wildest dreams, imagine I would say that. But the guys that have the original guys in the industry was Roger. Jared was there. Jared sort of started around the same time as I started coming into the scene. What else? Russell Grant, Peter Birch. And I'm trying to be neutral now to the people that have not judged me, and that's sort of like, I don't know. It's a tough one because I don't want to single out names and stuff like that, but the guys that I sort of looked up to or used to look up to, let's put it that way. And the guys that did the hard work. There's no shortcuts. I don't know what people talk about shortcuts in the reptile industry. There's no shortcuts. I'm sure I can. I don't know. Everybody has their up and their downs, and everybody's got their issues. And all people have got issues, and people fall out and fall in, and people have fucking fights, and I'm not going to go into details and stuff, but, at the end of the day, I think life's too short to fucking carry grudges. It just makes you sick. I'm trying to avoid these grudges. That's why I'm venting it out on the internet. And maybe next time a person thinks twice about doing that again, lashing out at me with fucking the wrong facts, because there was no real facts there. Yeah. Yeah. Brandon ultrasounds. I've got contacts over in Asia. A guy that I used to deal with for a long time that I can get those ultrasounds. But it's one of the for $2,500. You're not getting veterinarian. You get a veterinarian grade ultrasound, but that's all you need for a snake. I don't know. I don't think Pete imports Repassion. I haven't spoken to Pete in quite a few years, actually. But yeah, at the risk of sounding like, I don't want to annoy you, piss off. Let's just leave it there. I'm trying to be friendly with everybody and trying to be neutral, and because it's I definitely want to try and grow this channel a little bit, because it can be big, it can be good. I don't know, I discredit people, but I share animals from other breeders on my page, because it probably is. After Paul Harris, I think UK Pythons is the only other page that's bigger than in UK Python specialize in a whole bunch of other stuff. Like carpet wise, I think my page is probably the biggest carpet Python page on the internet. I know. I just it's tough. You be authentic, but you don't want to annoy. I'm just reconnecting with people that I haven't reconnected to in so long, and I don't want to say something to make people think that I can't be trusted, or he's on. I don't want to choose sides. I fucking don't want to do it, man. I want to build a strong, robust reptile industry in Australia. I've always wanted to do that. It's been on. That's why we did the shows. That's why I want to do this show. I mean, this cost me my time. My kids have gone to bed now. I've been on this thing here now for the last hour. We've been on this. I've been on this thing for the last hour talking about issues that I see happening in the industry that doesn't get pulled in line. And it just gets out of control down the line. And I'm not the watchdog. I don't want to be the watchdog for the industry. I just want people to use their common sense. There's no point in trying to, yeah, I know. But there's no point, thanks, mate. There's no point in destroying a sale from another guy. Man, be your own, market your animals better instead of destroying another guy's sale. If you can't market yourself better, then you should fuck off out of the industry. That is what annoys me so much. People have don't. I'm going back on a tangent here. Oof, calm down. People don't have the necessary skills to market themselves properly. That's why they need to destroy another man's business, because they can't do business. They don't have any business integrity. That's what I like to call it. They don't have any integrity when it comes to business. So if you kind of, and that those people get weeded out real quick. Yeah, I didn't think they were renewed, those permits. I'm surprised there's another brand that brings their food in, but I think that will stop real soon, if people know what I know. But in any case, I don't see the point. And then to go on the attack because I'm now yearning for attention. Man, I want to put people in touch with the right breeders, because I don't breed. But if I can help somebody find the right snake that they want and the right people, because I want to have the right guys on this show. I want to get them on here, have a good chat. They can walk me. I mean, the good thing about Skype and a phone is you can walk around your snake room and you can pull open tubs and you can show us, and I can have a split screen here, and you can show people what you're working on. You don't have to, let me just avoid something here. You don't have to, so sitting off center, snake in the back. That looks better. It's sort of like it gets the edges and stuff. So, where was I? In any case, let's just get this over with. Sell your product on its own merits. Never bag the competition. Yeah, that's 101 of sales. People are smart, man. People can read between the lines and go, well, why does this guy have to bash the opposition? Why is he doing that? Is the other product better? That's how I see it. I look at people that's just bad business. But it's because the hobby is so unregulated. It's very unregulated, and there's nobody that opens their mouth, and people are too scared that they offend somebody, and they don't want to annoy this guy because they have to just be in their good books because this guy might have a snake that he can buy. And I'm so sick of that. We don't have to we don't all have to be friends. I don't know why there's such a thing that you have to try and keep everybody happy. So. In any case, let me cut this short. This was a long one. I think it's an hour. It's over an hour now. Lots of hand gestures going on. Hour and 20 minutes, 40 minutes longer than I wanted to go. I need to go work tomorrow. So, and I need to spend some time with my lovely wife as well that hasn't watched the show because she doesn't give a shit. As usual, you know. Us men can just hope that our wives. Some of us are lucky to have wives that or partners that are actually into the reptiles more than we are. But it keeps me sane. I think if there were two people in my house that were at my mindset, then this would be an absolute disaster. You know. So, thank you for tuning in. There's still 25 people. You guys must be lying in bed. Come on, hit me with some stuff. Keep it nice. Keep it nice. Okay? Keep it nice. I don't want any mean comments or anything. All right? Um, yeah, it's good to see still 25 people. I'm probably on the big screen at my mate's house. Didn't wear the hat today. Yes, I went for a haircut on the weekend, and man, I told her do it short. 33. Oh, there we go. $33 later, and I looked like a bloody school kid with that stupid haircut. And I'm thinning out as well. I wanted to just cut it off. My Ava was sitting there going, "Daddy, no, 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 no," telling the lady, "You better not cut it off." So, for those of you that don't know, Ava's my daughter and Lockie's my son. So, and my wife's name's Nicole. She's there. You know, if I can say just one shout out to my wife, she has literally been above and beyond the rock that I've stood on through all the shit that I've pulled in my life. And I cannot imagine going through this life with somebody else that was so much, she's so tolerant of my bullshit, all my brain air schemes, this shit behind me. I don't know. Don't ever get into photography. Huh? Yeah. Don't ever get into photography and stuff. It's just the bottomless. It's like it's worse than snakes. Don't do it. There's so much money sitting here behind me. But, I always just said, I always said, it's the last thing. And now I think I'm pretty much rigged up until somebody like Colin tells me, oh, no, we need to get an ultrasound. Oh, I don't know. I don't even, but it'd be good to have a show and get a friend to bring a snake in during breeding season, and I can show people how the ultrasound. I am working on something though to unbox a few products and stuff like that to show people, cages. I would love to do plastic cages again. This is stuff that it's been in Australia, and then people just weren't interested. Like PVC cages, man. I used to make some nice PVC cages. Man, people just didn't want it. Now the industry's matured a bit more, and I'm sure there'll be more people. So hopefully, I think takes over. But this is a slow process, reintegrating back into the industry, and I'm hoping, you guys can, tell people about the show. It's not always positive like tonight. Try to be. There's no way to put a positive spin on the shit that we had to discuss tonight, but I needed to just get it out there. But I think we'll do it Wednesday nights. Wednesday nights feel like a good night because my boys are at karate, my daughter's at a friend's house, my wife's doing whatever she does every night. I don't know. I don't really know what she's doing every night. She does her own shit. And then, yeah, it is real. Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed the show. It's not even full moon. I checked. And maybe I should sit closer to the mic like this and just sort of lean on it and I can fall asleep and keep talking. So it is really taxing on me to do this show and just be the only male speaking. So maybe one of you can come on the show next Wednesday and talk shit. Trent, you've also said in the past that you do a show with me, we don't have to have your face on here, mate. You can just be a voice. You'll be the voice floating around here, and you don't have to show your face on there. Or we can put a camera in your snake room, and you can just have the camera pointed at your at the racks or at your snake. You can just walk around and just show. Yeah, cameras. Yeah, I know. Cameras. I love cameras. Let me just see how you said something. I'm trying to. Yeah, I could have probably just done this haircut myself, but you did do the straight razor on the neck, and I do like that. Not many people do that. I'm one of those. I like a straight razor in the neck. That clipper shit that they just do the trim. Nah, it needs to be straight razor. Beautiful. So I have to finish, close it off now so I can get some sleep. Otherwise, I'll never wake up because after this, I can't fall asleep because I'm too amped up. So thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys sticking through this hour and a half of bullshit, hour and 20 minutes. If you, the idea really is to send me a message. If there's anything that comes up that, I've tried to make show notes and stuff. I had a whole show note, but I ad lib. I'm pretty good like that. But if there's stuff that you wanted me to talk about, like ultrasounding or sexing, or I've seen a few terrible techniques when it comes to sexing stuff. Feeding hatchlings. And the sky's the limit. We don't just have to talk about carpets. I'm pretty good with reptiles in general. I think this is sort of my mature audience, and the other channel will probably be a little bit more toned down, just with some international guests and stuff like that. Let me just get the rig because somebody wants to ask me what's the rig. So this is going to be the Expo rig. So I'll give you a rundown because I can talk for hours about this shit as well. So that is my, let me just switch the sucker on so you can see the motion in action. So this is called the DJI Ronin gimbal. So it should come to life, okay? And then what this does, it allows you, the little black unit on the side here is a Teradek unit, and that's actually to make this a live stream rig. So I can go into any expo and press the button on the front there, and I can go live from anywhere. Well, I think the battery's a little bit flat. Hold on. Yeah, I think the battery's dead. So, but in any case, it's got a little battery on top there, so I can get like 3 hours. Okay, I know what's wrong. So I can get like 3 hours worth of video out of this. Let me just get that. It's got the variable ND filter on the front there, so I can do video in daytime and not let's just see. What's going on, big fella? There we go. Makes that funny noise and it means there's something wrong. So you just hold it like this. I might need somebody with proper functioning shoulders to carry it for me because my shoulders are all messed up after almost dying from electrocution a few years ago. So the ND filter's on the front there. And that's just magnificent. So the little legs pop up like this. And you can go literally anywhere. And there's my wireless mic on the front there, my little Rode Wireless Go. I'll bring it in closer. I don't know if you can see it. So there it is. It's pretty magic if you ask me. And then just the little Sony on top. And then my Atomos Ninja on the back, my little Ninja. This thing here is a recorder, so they've got a HDMI cable that runs out of the camera into this guy. And I can record in 4K 60 on this externally by just pressing a button. So it's uncompressed files. So that's all. This is all stuff that I learned. It's amazing. When you stop keeping reptiles, that's 18 to 105. I think 16 to 18. I think 18 to 105. So it's amazing when you suddenly when your livelihood gets ripped away from you, like when I lost the snakes. I had to reskill. And, this is the type of stuff that I could do. I could be the Australian walk-around guy and make videos at the expos because nobody does that well. I mean, people with their mobile phones is not really what we're doing. So I want to do that. And it's such a nice. And then I've got this one's big brother sitting behind me there. That just takes a bigger camera and a heavier payload. So, but I can't carry that. I'll have to get Chris, my other mate, to walk around with that. And, we're 2 cameras. And then I can monitor everything independently. But that little unit there is what's going to make the difference to the live shows, because I can then go live basically from anywhere if there's a Wi-Fi signal, or it hooks into my mobile phone as well. So I'll just put this guy here. It's real nice. It's real nice. I like the gadget shit. I really do like that. So let's switch it off. There we go. It's quite a few. That's a few $1,000s sitting there, because it's all about the money to me. Oh, you fuckwit. In any case, sorry about that language. I'm sure I'll get some followers unfollowing and unliking and going nuts and all that shit, But well, I'd rather have a page with 1,000 people on that I like and that likes my shit than 8,000 pretenders. All right. So have a good night. Thanks for watching. It was a little bit all over the shop this, but hopefully making the cogs go and the gears go in the heads and stuff and whatever. And then please reach out if there's something you want me. If you want to come on the show, please, by all means. I'm interested to see what big guys are working in. I'm interested to put new young names out there so people know that you're around. Giving you a little bit of exposure here on this big page of mine, and I want to get the page active, kicking over a little bit again as well. So I might start posting photos of my old collection and how I did stuff, because there was quite a few interesting ideas there as well that I did. So have a good night, guys. Thanks for watching, and yeah, I'll see you on the flip side.